Hey, welcome to Garage Misadventures. Today I wanted to share with you this vintage tool. This is the Sears Router Crafter, and it is essentially a jig for the router. And you might have seen something similar under the name Router Lathe, and that's kind of the idea behind it. Is you could create chair spindles and things that you would normally create on a lathe with this jig. And this one I found, it was new old stock. It had never even had a router mounted on it, so it still had the box. Been sitting on somebody's shelf for quite a few years. So I picked it up and I put this Craftsman router on it. And today I'm going to kind of show you some of the functions it can do. I have a piece of 2x2 in here just to demonstrate what it can do. So first you set your wood in the box end, and then you tighten it up with this center back here. And it has quite a few different functions, and one of them is to obviously make a square thing round. So that's what we're going to start with. You have this handle here, and when this pin is disengaged back here, this will rotate freely, free of this cable drive system. And the cable drive system is what moves the router carriage along, as well as rotating this to create patterns like this diamond pattern. And this piece kind of blew out a little bit, but you can see you can even do hollow center spindles. So kind of some cool stuff that you can do. So first off, we're going to start by making this part of this round, and it just uses basic hose clamps to as a stop to stop the router carriage. Alright, so as you can see, we now have a round spindle here. A little bit of tear out, it's just some cheapy pine. So now we have quite a few different options on this to create different types of spindles. So one thing we can do is we can lock down this piece, which locks the spindle in place, the spool here in place. And once we do that, we have 24 different alignment marks on the back of this ring. And what that does for us is, if we want to create some lines in our piece, with say a V-groove bit. So we will change bits here. And now say we want to have equally spaced vertical lines. We can do that. So we'll start on 4 on this ring back here. I'm going to reset our depth so it doesn't dig in very much. So we'll start on 4. We've got this locked in place. We drop this pin back in. And we can unlock our spindle and move to 8. and then on to 12. Now, by using these alignment marks, we have equally spaced vertical lines, and it has a really nice spindle pattern. We could take this off and sand it, and you could use this as a chair leg, and as long as you use the alignment marks exactly the same way on each one, you could potentially create a whole set of these for use on a piece of furniture. Alright, so now if we want to create a diamond pattern or a hollow center with a rotating pattern on it, I don't have another fresh piece to show you on, but I'm going to show you how it was done on this. What we do is we lock this pin right here. We lock this pin right here together, and that locks these two pieces, the piece that holds the spindle and the cable drive together. And then we've attached our cable with the little pip to our router carriage. And then when we rotate this handle now, it's going to rotate our spindle and draw our carriage at a controlled rate. So I will show you how we do that. So now, if we want to go the opposite direction, so we get the diamond pattern, we can disconnect from this cable and then we can move the cable drive to a place where we can connect it to the lower cable. And then that way it will move our router in the opposite direction when we turn the crank. So that way you can still go from left to right with the router, but have the spindle turning the opposite direction. And that's how you get the diamond pattern like this. So now we're locked into the lower cable, and then we'll set it where our starting point needs to be. And then just like with the straight lines, if you wanted an equally spaced, you can go every 6 marks or every 4 marks and get an equally spaced pattern. So then, the last time when we were doing it on the top cable, we were going counterclockwise and it was turning the spindle and drawing the router. Now we can go clockwise and it would turn it the opposite direction and draw it toward the spindle. I really like this note right here. I just wanted to point it out. Capture the ornate beauty of fine woodworking in your furniture with this lathe-like accessory. Alright, so as you can see, this is a pretty versatile little tool. We just wanted to share it with you today and show you. This on the box says it can handle up to 3-inch square stock, which is twice the diameter we're doing today. And obviously it just changes little feet to set the angle for bigger stock, and up to 36-inch length on this jig, which would be good for chair or table legs, whatever you're trying to make. So it's a pretty neat little tool, very versatile with the designs you can put in. They have a lot more ideas that are given on the box here for things you can do, and with different router bits you can create all kinds of designs, very decorative designs, just using the different stops and things on this. So pretty neat little jig. Yeah, hit the subscribe button, like our video, and drop us a comment. Let us know what you think. We'd sure appreciate the interaction. And we'll be featuring more antique and modern tools here in the future. And today this was a Sears Craftsman Router Crafter or Router Lathe. And so we hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching Garage Misadventures.